Tonight, the tiger trap. The rebel Tamils might be down, but are they really out? The man the Sri Lankan government claims to be the new Tamil leader has been secretly abducted from Malaysia and flown back to Colombo.
The terrorists can run, but they can't hide. Eventually, they will be brought to justice.
G'day and welcome again. With Tamil boat people at the centre of controversy involving Indonesia and Australia this week, that largely unknown chapter in the Tamil saga shortly. Also tonight, though, Barack Obama being awarded the Nobel Peace Prize has certainly stirred up a storm for and against. And we've spoken with the Secretary of the Nobel Committee itself in Oslo about the international furore over their decision. Plus, Evan Williams embedded in the tiny Russian Republic of Ingushetia. Moscow claims it's battling militant Islam, but the locals will tell you that hundreds of innocents are being killed.
We're going to see one of Ingushetia's leading human rights workers, but it's believed that he's very closely watched. And so to try and keep our profile down and to try and lessen the danger to him, we're going to see him at night.
That later, but first up tonight, here in Australia this week, the political shemozzle of 260 Tamils, currently in asylum seeker limbo in West Java, has dominated the news here in no uncertain terms. It's a classic example of the desperate Tamil diaspora. However that matter's resolved, the Sri Lankan government's defeat of the feared Tamil Tigers in May this year was hailed as the end of a titanic 25-year civil war. But in Colombo, Sri Lanka's most senior political and military leaders were already plotting how to deal with key surviving Tamil leaders. In August, they launched a top-secret overseas operation that netted the Tigers' new leader, a mysterious figure known as KP, who for years had apparently run the rebels' arms buying and money laundering operations. Amos Roberts in Malaysia reports on a plot worthy of John le Carre himself, including a twist that extends all the way to Australia.
For 2.5 decades, he roamed the globe on 23 different passports. But time was running out for one of the world's most wanted men. Just over 2 months ago, the mysterious KP is believed to have been secretly abducted from a hotel in Southeast Asia.
KP knew that it will end this way. KP was wanted by the Sri Lankan government for a very long time.
KP was born Shanmugam Kumaran Tharmalingam, but he was known by many other names. He ran a global arms smuggling and money laundering network for Sri Lanka's Tamil Tigers and was one of their most senior commanders. This photo, with KP at the left, was taken at the wedding of the man who started the Tigers.
The terrorist campaign in Sri Lanka could not have been sustained without KP. KP is the man who provided the arms, ammunition, explosives, and the logistics as well as the finance.
But although he's still on Interpol's wanted list, KP is now being interrogated back in Sri Lanka.
KP has been living on borrowed time.
Going down.
Professor Rohan Gunaratne runs the International Centre for Political Violence and Terrorism Research in Singapore. He's close to Sri Lanka's Defence Secretary, who's credited with masterminding KP's rendition.
Previously, the Israelis, the Americans did this kind of rendition operations. By bringing KP home, Sri Lanka demonstrated that it will not spare any Tamil Tiger or any other terrorist who is going to harm Sri Lanka's national security interests.
The undoing of KP started with the Tigers' military defeat in May. After their leader Prabhakaran was killed, KP was anointed as his successor.
The Tamil Tiger's new leader has told Channel 4 News that hundreds of fighters are under his command.
From an undisclosed location, KP emerged from the shadows into the spotlight on British television.
He has never before been interviewed face-to-face. He spent his life on the run, and he now claims authority to speak on behalf of Sri Lanka's vanquished Tamil minority.
Till we have the fighting force, we can continue our armed struggle. We have our friends and fighters, they are in jungle.
The Sri Lankan government assessed after Prabhakaran's death that KP posed the single biggest national security threat to Sri Lanka, and it was paramount for KP to be brought home.
This was the unlikely location of KP's disappearance, a budget hotel in downtown Kuala Lumpur. According to its website, one of the main reasons you should stay at the Tune Hotel is its security. But it wasn't so secure for KP on the 5th of August, when it's thought that he was snatched from here in a joint operation by the Sri Lankan and Malaysian security forces. Exactly how and where KP was snatched hasn't been officially confirmed. But according to a detailed account by a Tamil journalist, KP came to Malaysia from Thailand for a meeting. He was brought to the Tune Hotel by his driver, Apu, and met outside by 2 Tamil visitors from London. The 3 men went upstairs to a room for their meeting. There was hostility to KP in some parts of the Tamil diaspora, and it was through meetings like this that he asserted his authority over the Tigers. After receiving a call on his mobile phone, KP left the room to continue his conversation. The visitors waited for almost 20 minutes and then went looking for KP, but he vanished. So too had his car and driver downstairs. After many frantic phone calls, KP's contacts in Kuala Lumpur went and searched the room he'd been staying in. He was missing, but the insulin he took for his diabetes was still there.
Was he in fact arrested at the Tune Hotel, as has been reported?
Yes, KP was arrested at the Tune Hotel.
So what happened after KP left the hotel room? Some reports say he was taken to Bangkok by the Malaysian Special Branch and handed over to the Sri Lankans. Professor Gunaratne tells a slightly different story.
KP was taken directly from Malaysia on board a Sri Lankan flight. He flew on business class to Sri Lanka in style.
And how do you know this?
KP has been a man of deep interest to us for a very long time.
And it's another major victory for the Sri Lankan government. The new chief of the LTTE, Kumaran Padmanathan, was arrested in Bangkok.
Into custody by security divisions in Bangkok, Thailand.
When news of his arrest broke, conflicting reports had KP captured in Thailand and Singapore, as well as Malaysia.
Good morning, Minister.
Good morning. Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. Amos Roberts, Australian Television.
Hi, welcome.